And Olympian Katie Eulander is fighting for a spot on Team USA at the Milan Games. Eulander accuses Canada of manipulating a qualifying competition, and it cost her the chance to make her sixth Winter Olympics. Yesterday, a sports court ruled it could not take up her case, and she joins us now with her story. There is a chance, and we're looking for the chance to see if we can make this happen for you, Katie. I just want to read to you from the Court of Arbitration for Sport saying, considering the chronology of the events, the application fell outside the jurisdiction of the CAS Ad Hoc Division Milano Cortina 2026. You disagree, and you're caught in a little bit of limbo here, as I understand it. What would be your ideal outcome at this point?
Well, I don't know if I disagree that it was out of their jurisdiction. To be fair, the dispute happened prior to the 10-day window. What I want to happen is something. I don't know what the solution is at this point because I've exhausted all of the pathways within the system. And from what I can understand, it will be up to the IOC and potentially the IOBSF to allocate an extra for extreme circumstances. But we don't know who should ask for that or exactly how to do it. And this would be where I'd ask Vance for help.
Yes, and we're asking here for you, too, because I'm not sure. But I want to read about this because this had to do with Team Canada being accused of manipulating the competition. And after that, they said, this is a system flaw, if anything, but if we were in the rules, Katie was not on the World Cup team. She wasn't a top-tier athlete in that program anymore. She was at the end of her career. I would personally rather race against Katie. She's not as competitive as the other athletes. That's what the national team skeleton coach of Canada said. How do you respond to that?
I think that response says it all because he's not addressing the issue at all, which is that he intentionally tricked all of the countries into thinking this race was full points. He urged me to come race there. And then at the last second, he pulled all of his athletes and he didn't hide it. He told me, he told another coach that he did it for the points. And he knew he was going to hurt me. He knew he was going to hurt the Denmark athlete and that the Swiss girl might have to retire because of this. And he didn't care. He said he wanted to eliminate any possibilities that could threaten Canada's second spot, even if it was just 1%. And the sad part is there was no threat. At the end of the races, the Korean athlete was not going to surpass Canada. And he hurt all of us just because he wanted to eliminate any possibility, which is not in the spirit of sport.
Right.
And that's the point. It's not that it wasn't within the rules. You should be able to pull athletes for legitimate reasons, but not to hurt people.
Right. And the IBSF said that in a statement from Canada, saying that the Canadian coach of the National Federation shall be reminded that whilst acting within the letter of the Code of Conduct, it is expected that all parties concerned should also act within the spirit of the code, as you just said. Let me ask you this, Katie, just as we put it out there for anybody, if anyone has any ideas of where this goes from here, get in touch and we'll help you figure that out. But I want to ask you just about your training, your dreams, your desire to be at the Olympics. Speak from the heart for us so we can understand how much this means to you.
I almost quit at World Championships last season because I had an injury and I had expected to medal at that race. Coming into last season, I medaled my first World Cup back. I was consistently in the top 5 to 8. I had high hopes to represent my country in a big way going into this Olympics and to make history for the U.S. as the first woman ever to go to 6 Winter Olympic Games and join Lindsey Vonn as one of the only athletes to compete in 06 and 26. And why I didn't quit was because of the athletes. They came up to me and told me not to give up and that they wanted to see me there from all different countries. I congratulated the world champion on winning. And she told me I was just trying to be like you. And it struck my heart so deeply that I remembered Leanne Parsley, who won silver medal in 2002 Olympics here in Utah, and how much it meant to me to see her compete and try to make the games in 06.
Katie, we are out of time. We wish you the best. We'll stay in touch and see if we get an answer for you. Thank you so much.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.